On day one of boot camp, everything changes. We'll show you how not to be scared. These men and women leave their normal lives behind and step into a whole new world where the welcome is anything but friendly. We took a peek inside the training programs of military branches and law enforcement agencies to see what it really takes to protect and serve. Get ready to dive into the action. Navy boot camp. It all starts on day one. These fresh faces arrive at the Navy Recruit Training Command. As the buses drive from O'Hare Airport, the recruits are about to experience a life-changing transformation. The welcome they receive, let's just say it's far from warm. Drill instructors are in full force, shouting orders and setting the tone for what's to come. Hurry up, hurry up. The recruits are immediately put into a stressful environment to test their mettle, making sure every recruit calls home to let their families know they arrived safely. They have exactly 1 minute to make that call. It's a brief and emotional moment, knowing this might be the last contact with their families for a while. Next, recruits are taught the basics, standing at attention, following orders, and learning the ropes. Stand at attention until told otherwise. Do not look staff in the eyes. That's disrespectful. The culture shock is real, and recruits must adapt quickly. Recruits receive their ditty bags, which include uniforms, hygiene products, and other essentials. Hurry up, go, go, go. Every moment is a rush as they prepare for the days ahead. To ensure they're fit for service, recruits must provide urine samples to confirm they are drug-free. Those who can't provide a sample immediately have to hydrate until they can. While male and female recruits sleep in different compartments, they often train together in gender-integrated divisions. This fosters teamwork and mutual respect among all recruits. The first day is just the beginning of their incredible journey. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the intense world of Navy boot camp. Marine Corps boot camp. Welcome to Marine Corps boot camp. On day one, everything changes. New recruits arrive at the receiving barracks and take their first steps toward becoming Marines by walking through the iconic silver hatches. These hatches mark the threshold between the civilian world and the intense world of Parris Island, a place where everything they knew is about to shift. Once inside, the recruits are immediately processed and assigned to their platoons. The intensity begins right away with a strict focus on discipline. The recruits are told they must do exactly what they're instructed to do at the right time without question. The rules are simple but uncompromising. Next, recruits are given their first orders. They are required to quickly change into a uniform that follows specific standards, including making sure their hair is properly styled. Every detail is crucial, and the recruits must adapt quickly to meet these expectations. After graduation, Marines commit to a minimum of 4 years of service, with entry-level privates earning around $20,000 a year. This commitment is not just about earning a paycheck. It's about becoming part of something greater than themselves. One of the first tasks for the recruits is to make a phone call to a family member or their recruiter to let them know they've arrived safely. However, the call is tightly controlled. They must read from a scripted message, which serves to maintain the formal and disciplined nature of their new environment. Recruits are allowed 3 attempts to make the call, but not every recruit is able to connect with their family. If the line is busy or no one answers, they are instructed to hang up and move on. There's no time for hesitation. This is the beginning of a fast-paced and demanding routine. From the moment they step foot on Parris Island, the recruits begin their transformation. The first day sets the tone for everything that follows. There's no time to dwell on missed calls or moments of uncertainty. The focus is now on becoming a Marine, and that journey starts immediately. The first day is just the beginning. In the following weeks, these recruits will face intense physical, mental, and emotional challenges, all designed to push them to their limits and prepare them for life as a United States Marine. Coast Guard Boot Camp. Before recruits get to Cape May, the journey begins at the USO Lounge in Philadelphia Airport. This is where new Coast Guard recruits spend their last few moments of calm before stepping into their new life. For many, it's the beginning of a chapter they didn't fully expect. Some are following in family footsteps, others are seeking a way out of financial struggles. But for all, this is the start of something intense. For these recruits, this is the last bit of downtime they'll have for weeks. Their next stop is Cape May, and the moment they step off the bus, everything changes. The recruits head into the building for processing. It's chaotic, and there's a clear sense of urgency. Everything moves fast. This is no longer a day for taking things slowly. From this moment on, The recruits are expected to meet the high standards of the Coast Guard. It's not just a physical challenge, it's a mental and emotional transformation too. The next few hours are spent getting uniformed, receiving medical exams, and getting their standard vaccinations. And then it's time for the free haircut. With these simple actions, they start to look and feel like members of the Coast Guard. But the true test is just beginning. After the paperwork, recruits gather together for their first big meeting. The recruits are told that they are needed and that their commitment will fill vital positions in Coast Guard units that are sailing short-handed. With that, the training begins in full force. The real question now, are they ready? Army Boot Camp. New infantry recruits arrive at the 30th AG Battalion headquarters at Fort Benning, straight from the Atlanta airport. This is where their journey as soldiers officially begins. As soon as they step off the bus, the first order of business is establishing the code of conduct. The drill sergeants make it clear that attention and discipline are non-negotiable. The recruits are introduced to the Army's core values. They must treat everyone with dignity and respect, regardless of race, gender, or background. Violations of these values are serious and can lead to a dishonorable discharge and even legal consequences. Next, the recruits are taught basic commands and standing positions. This is the beginning of their transformation from civilians to soldiers. They stand tall, ready to face the challenges ahead. The recruits are then issued a snack, fruit cups, sunflower seeds, a granola bar, and a juice box to provide some fuel before the real work begins. This marks the last moment of relative calm before they face the intense training that awaits. Over the next 1 to 2 weeks, the recruits go through processing. This includes completing paperwork, receiving immunizations, and getting ready for the hard training that will follow. One of the first tasks they face is the amnesty room, where they are given a final chance to dispose of any prohibited items, such as drugs, alcohol, or inappropriate photos. Anything that doesn't meet the Army standards is disposed of in a metal chute, ensuring the recruits are free from distractions. After processing, the recruits head to the barber shop. Here they receive their first military haircut, marking the symbolic end of their civilian lives. It's a small but significant act, signaling the start of their transformation into soldiers. With new uniforms issued and their official photos taken, the recruits prepare for what comes next, the real training. For many, the bus ride from processing to their barracks is the last quiet moment they'll have for a while. The first 100 yards. This new approach still challenges recruits, but with a more structured and focused introduction to military life. Army First 100 Yards. The journey for new Army infantry soldiers begins with an event known as the First 100 Yards. This event kicks off their 22-week training cycle at Fort Benning, where different platoons compete in a series of tests designed to challenge them, both mentally and physically. The purpose is clear: teamwork and winning matter. The event sets the tone for the entire cycle, emphasizing discipline and the importance of success. Each platoon vies for the top spot, knowing that the winners will be rewarded and the losers will face consequences. The first 100 yards is intense, but it marks a shift from the traditional shark attack that once greeted recruits on day one. The Army officially replaced the shark attack with the first 100 yards, a new tradition focusing on teamwork and readiness rather than intimidation. Recruits are divided into 4 platoons. In one of the early tasks, one platoon faces a challenging mission. After a short run, they encounter a mass of supplies arranged in a specific configuration. They're given 30 seconds to memorize the layout, knowing they will later be tasked with replicating it while carrying supplies through obstacles in their path. The pressure builds as they work together to move and manage the supplies, emphasizing teamwork under stressful conditions. Along with the physical tasks, the platoons are tested on their knowledge of key Army facts. They must recall details from a study guide they received upon arrival. This test of mental sharpness helps the drill sergeants assess their readiness for the challenges ahead. As each platoon works to answer questions, the competition becomes more intense, with the winners taking points that could make all the difference later. As the first 100 yards event comes to a close, the recruits are given a demonstration by active duty infantry soldiers. They see firsthand what excellence looks like, what they are working toward over the next 22 weeks. The message is clear. This is just the beginning of their journey, and the hard work ahead will shape them into the perfect infantrymen they aspire to be. If you found this behind-the-scenes look at military boot camps fascinating, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of the armed forces.